أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Brothers and sisters, we are presently in the season of Hajj. As most of us know, Hajj is much more than a physical journey. A Muslim scholar once described the deeper meaning of Hajj and its implication on our daily life when he stated, Hajj is like a short, intensive course in which the basic teachings of Islam about faith and life are presented to a worldwide gathering of Muslims. He went on to say, the instructions in this course, however, are not given through lectures, but through symbols and rituals, a divinely written drama in which every pilgrim participates as an actor, and through this participation learns a basic message of Islam. Let us see for ourselves what we can take from each of the stages of Hajj and incorporate into our daily lives. Ihram and Talbiyah. One enters into Ihram, which means prohibited and sacred, so that we are careful from that point onwards from doing any forbidden thing. There are no designer clothes here. Talbiyah is the heart's most profound surrender to the invitation and call of Allah. Here I come to you, my Lord, here I come, fully and forever. Our hearts will beat only for the sake of Allah, and not a single thing should sway us from this point forward. The constant recitation of Talbiyah is a means to focus our heart and minds on the purpose of the forthcoming pilgrimage. Mina. Mina means desire, hope, or longing. According to some sources, Adam alayhi salam longed and desired to journey back home to paradise and to be once again in Allah's presence. The Hajj begins here in Mina, and it is a time of tarwiyah, which means to quench one's thirst, and it is a time that the heart is supposed to focus on the aim of the pilgrimage and for the soul to gather resolution. Arafat. Arafat is the next stage of the pilgrimage. It means to know or to understand the purpose of Hajj. Another meaning of Arafat is to perfume or to make fragrant. Arafat is the cleansing station outside the Haram. The believer stands here and seeks forgiveness for all the previous sins committed. The humble servant should implore with all his heart to be made worthy to enter into Allah's house and to be in his presence. Like we should before every salah, really, I guess. Allah affirms to the angels at this point that yes, he has forgiven them. And what an honour this must be for the pilgrim. The next stage is Muzdalifah. Muzdalifah comes from the Arabic root izdilaf, which means to approach or to get closer. Muzdalifah is a second station of cleansing and purification, and it is a point where the pilgrim is now ever closer to the Kaaba. Mina and the casting of the pebbles. During the Hajj of Ibrahim alayhi salam, he was commanded to sacrifice his son. Allah never intended that the slaughter take place. He wanted instead to free and purify Ibrahim alayhi salam from every love and every attachment besides him. The shaitan attempted to prevent Ibrahim alayhi salam from sacrificing his son. So Ibrahim alayhi salam threw pebbles at the shaitan to reject his whispers and temptations. By doing the same, the pilgrim affirms Allah's greatness over everything. He or she make a promise to Allah that they will never displease him by following shaitan again. The sacrifice of the animal during Hajj signifies the slaughter of the nafs by Ibrahim alayhi salam. Now the pilgrim is welcomed by Allah to visit his haram and his house. He or she is now freed from ihram, but not completely. Tawaf al-Ifada. Ifada means to flood, to rush, or to move within the house of Allah by doing 7 circulations around the Kaaba. Sa'i between Safa and Marwa. Sa'i means to work, to strive, or to act. We remember Sa'i, the actions of Hajar alayhi salam, looking for water for her thirsty baby. Zamzam was a miracle gift to Hajar for her efforts and sincere reliance on Allah. This teaches us we must all rely on Allah, no matter how impossible circumstances may appear. The days and nights at Mina. During our stay in Mina, we reaffirm and redeclare our desire and hope for spiritual freedom by casting pebbles for 3 days. We are Allah's guests at this time. The greatest nourishment during these days, as Allah Himself has indicated on numerous occasions, is through remembrance of Allah or dhikr. The farewell. There is no certainty that any of us will ever gaze on the Kaaba again. Whether we return or not, we will never forget this golden opportunity. The Kaaba beckons you from afar and then leaves you yearning forever. May Allah grant each and every one of us to perform Hajj during our lifetimes.